Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is my video review for Kung Fu Panda 2. I gotta open up by saying that I was highly disappointed in this movie. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I absolutely was in love with the first one. If you don't know, I'm a big martial arts fan. I love martial arts, and like I said, I love a good story too. I love caring about the characters, and Kung Fu Panda 1 did an excellent job with that. You cared about the character. They fleshed him out. You felt sad when he was sad. You were happy when he was happy. You get to see him rise up. It was not only a great child's movie, but it was a great martial arts movie. Like, that really caught me off guard. The fight scenes were magnificent, and it had the whole rising up. Seeing the training and stuff, and that's what you like to see. And then it had the big climactic battle with the really awesome villain. But again, that was the first one, and it was hilarious. But the second one lacked a lot of things. It was funny. The physical comedy, like jaw drops or the way somebody looks or something that they're doing, was excellent. I gotta say, the director, I don't know their name, is very good at comedic timing. They know when to place, like I said, a jaw drop. It's hilarious at the right time. They know not to draw a joke out for too long. It's just perfect timing. But the things that they were saying wasn't funny. I don't think I laughed at anything that was said in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Certain characters who said a lot of things that were funny in the first movie just didn't seem funny to me. Like Poe's father. If you don't know, Poe is the panda. His goose father. He wasn't funny in this one. He was really funny to me in the first one. Another thing was the Furious Five, which are the tiger, the serpent, the grasshopper, the monkey, and the crane that are on the team with Poe. They didn't say as much as I would hope for them to say this movie. And Master Sifu, I don't know what animal he is, like a raccoon or something. He is their master, and he wasn't in there as much. And I love his character too. And if you didn't know, the voice acting on the characters is excellent. You got Jack Black, of course, as Poe. You got Jackie Chan in there, Angelina Jolie, Michelle Yeoh, David Cross, Seth Rogen. You got a lot of famous people in this movie. Danny McBride was in this one too, his voice, and it's excellent. But the Furious Five didn't talk a lot in this movie, and it made me think that, well, maybe they just couldn't afford the same voice actor, so they tried to cover it up. Like the monkey, great example. He's Jackie Chan's character. He didn't say much in the first one, but I don't think I heard him talk for the first hour. And if I did, I didn't remember. I was like, is that Jackie Chan? But I saw the credits and they were like, yeah. But the voice acting is still great. But like I said, the Furious Five didn't say a lot. I gotta say, the grasshopper character, Seth Rogen, he was excellent in the first one, and he's excellent in this one. I love seeing him fight. He's a bug, but he's really fast. If you don't know, Man style Kung Fu is deadly. But he's hilarious. Like, he's the only person that every time he says something, I laugh. Every time. He did probably 10 jokes in the movie, but I loved everything he said. Every time he opened his mouth to say something, I was ready to just trip out. But Jack Black, he didn't really wow me with the jokes, vocal jokes this time. His voice acting still good. The animation in the movie was great. Seeing all the characters running around, seeing all those animals move like a human way, or not even a human way, but in a human-ish way, because they don't all walk the same way. They're still animals, so they move a certain way, and they put a lot of detail into the animation. The environment looks beautiful. The music is great. The fight scenes are average in this one. I fell in love with the fight scenes from the first one. If you didn't notice, they were very well choreographed for any movie. I mean, a serious martial arts movie had problems when it came to how good Kung Fu Panda 1's fight scenes were. But they weren't that great in this one. The villain wasn't as good, but the peacock in this movie is great. I loved his character. If you've seen the first one, Poe was pretty much unstoppable in fighting hand-to-hand combat at the end of the first one. And he is in this one. And if you don't watch movies like that, when you see the character come up, from nothing to something, it's great seeing that. But if in another movie they're the bomb the whole movie, then there's no challenge for them. You're not really as amused. But It's an animated movie, so they get to try a lot of things that they couldn't do, you know, action wise with a real movie. But they gave him other challenges. Like the villain could fight, but the major thing was he invented this weapon, and you probably already know what kind of weapon it is, but I don't want to spoil it. He invented they say it's a weapon that stops kung fu, and he was like, you know, how am I supposed to stop something that stops kung fu with kung fu? And it was funny, but it's like, how is he gonna do that? So, you know, it's a different challenge for him. He has to fight this new weapon. And the peacock, he fights the peacock like 2 or 3 times, and he can't beat up on him for a certain reason. He keeps getting distracted by something, and you'll see that in the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's great that, you know, you don't have to see him really up his skills, but it's a mental thing for him this time. Another thing is, like I said, there wasn't that many training scenes and other training scenes from the first one. But you didn't really care about the story as much. They had like the villain from the first one. You know, he had history with the master or whatever. But you know, it was a lot of, you know, heartfelt moments in the first one that weren't in the second one. And it was a serious backstory in the second one, but it just didn't feel right. And I'm gonna tell you why. They went for like a hardcore kind of revenge plot, and it seems like when I saw the trailer, I was blown away. It seems like it's gonna be a more hardcore movie, but not too hardcore to where you won't take your kids or whatever. But it ends up watering it down. So they set it up to be hardcore, but then they water down a lot of things. So it's like it just doesn't feel right. It's like, what is this? So it's like if you order sweet tea and you like, oh, I want something sweet, but then they give you like some diet sweet tea and it just tastes horrible. So it's like you conflicted. So that's why the story didn't really pull off to me. I didn't really care that much about what was going on. I wanted to, and I couldn't hate this movie because I still love the characters. You know, even though I didn't get to see a lot of them as much, I still love the characters. I still love Poe. You know, you're still gonna root for him, and if you like the first one, you're going to like the second one. If you love the first one, you still going to probably like the second one. But you're going to be, the more you like the first one, the more you were expecting, the more disappointed you'll be. So be prepared for that. I know a lot of people who I know didn't like the first movie as much as I did, that, you know, was talking about, oh, they love the second one. And I understand. You know, that's just how it is. So I'm trying not to be too rough on this, and I'm not trying not to be too soft, because like I said, it's a sequel and I love the first one. So go see it if you like the first one. Go see it if you love the first one. But if you didn't really, you know, if you were just like, oh, the first one was okay, then something's wrong with you, first off. And you probably shouldn't even go see the second one because you're just going to be mad. So I liked it, didn't love it, and that's a shame because the first one really is one of my favorite movies. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope I didn't, you know, tear into the movie too much. But like I said, I liked it. And one more thing, I know in Grenada you can only see it in 3D. I hate that it was in 3D. I hate wearing those stupid glasses. They're too heavy. They get on my nerves, and there's really no point. It looks excellent. It will look excellent without the 3D. So, that's my review.